I see a lot of shorts going over this, but they never explain why they get the points, so I'm going to go over the feats of Billy and Stu to explain who wins. I already made a who killed who, so that explains who gets the feats for In the Mask. I'll start with Billy. He is 17 with a height of 6 feet and weighing 176 pounds. He has to kill Maureen Prescott and Casey Becker with help from Stu. He was taught how to get away with murder by Roman and successfully framed Cotton, getting away with it for 1 year. His best calculable feat is kicking Gale several feet and knocking her out, which has been calculated to 3,143.412424 joules street level and 11.07 for 69879 meters per second peak human. Billy is the one who hanged Principal Hinged at the football field, and apparently Hinged weighs 200 pounds. Macher is 18 with a height of 6 feet 4 inches weighing 185 pounds. He kills 6 people. With Billy he kills Maureen Prescott and Casey Becker. On his own he kills Steve Orth, Principal Arthur Hinged, Tatum Riley and Kenny Brown. He has experience with hunting and got away with murder for 1 year. His best strength feat is throwing a chair through 2 panels of a glass door, splitting the door frame, which would yield 2,666.9587 to 7 joules street level. His best speed feat is knocking on Hinged's door and running away before he could open it, which is calculated to 11.476 meters per second peak human. People also say he moves faster than the human I can see when gutting Steve in 1.5 seconds, which would make him bare minimum able to go 34.3 meters per second, be subsonic, but I've never seen an actual calculation to back this up. If you're wondering, it takes 825.01206 to 7 joules to disembowel someone. He lifted Kenny, who apparently weighs 250 pounds, putting him on the van. For equipment, they both have an 18-inch buck 120 hunting knife. But Billy has a Beretta 9.2 that carries 15 rounds, firing bullets at Mach 1.1865888 to 9 transonic speed and hitting with 617 joules street level. I know Stu holds the gun, but Billy is the only one to fire it, so I don't give it to Stu. There is also only one gun, since it's Dewey's, so Billy has attack potency and striking strength from kicking Gale. The speed advantage is either minor or noticeable depending on whether you believe Stu being subsonic. Billy gets agility and durability for jumping through the window to get Casey, and since his durability scales to his strength due to Newton's third law. Stu gets endurance due to overpowering Sydney despite being stabbed 5 times and bleeding out. He also gets stamina since he killed Tatum and did everything as Ghostface in the 3rd act. Billy obviously gets intelligence and strategy since he is the mastermind. Billy also gets emotional intelligence and manipulation due to convincing Sydney to sleep with him despite her thinking he is the killer. Stu gets social intelligence due to convincing people to go to his party despite there being a curfew and a serial killer. Stu gets battle intelligence since we see more combat feats from him, like gutting people, taking down Sydney and stabbing Dewey, a trained police officer. Billy gets skills since he can make fake blood from corn syrup. Seems logical to assume he was the one who cloned Neil's phone, even if it was Stu's idea. Stu gets experience and battle experience since he's a year older than Billy and they both get away with murder for 1 year, but he does more as Ghostface. Billy gets equipment, they both have knives, but Billy has a gun. I'd give Stu aim from slitting Kenny's throat since Billy missed a point-blank shot, only hitting Randy's shoulder. Stu gets brutality for gutting people and stealth for sneaking up on Dewey and the Hinged scene. Stu obviously gets kill count since he kills 6 people and Billy kills 2. I'm going to go over 3 rounds, without weapons, with weapons, and with prep time. In round 1 the speed difference is negligible, and while Stu would win a pushing contest, Billy hits harder and will beat him to death. In round 2 there is this thing called the 20-foot rule, where if someone with a knife is within 20 feet of someone with a gun, they will run up and stab them before they can point and shoot. If Stu is within 20 feet at the start of the fight, he will close the distance and slit his throat. If he isn't, Billy will shoot him, but it's important to note that Billy only shot Randy in the shoulder and that was at point blank. He also just walked away despite Randy still moving, so in character he might just leave assuming victory only for Stu to attack him from behind. Stu was able to keep fighting and overpower Sidney despite being stabbed 5 times and bleeding out, so he should get up from a shot to the shoulder. Once Stu gets the sneak attack and turns it into a knife fight, I think he'll win. Stu is a hunter that knows how to gut people and is shown to be more skilled with a knife than Billy. In round 3 I think Stu wins. Billy being smarter and having a skill set of manipulation and framing isn't relevant to a 1v1 scenario where they need to find and kill each other. It's not like either would do much with prep time, but Stu's superior stealth feats and hunting skills means I think he would find Billy first. If he can sneak up on and stab Dewey, a trained police officer with a gun that's actively clearing the house, then I think he can sneak up on Billy. It then goes the same as round 2 except Stu isn't shot in the shoulder. In conclusion, Stu wins 2 out of 3. Like, dislike, subscribe, who gives a fuck, you do whatever the fuck you want.